What's going on? Adam here, aka Captain. Today we are going to talk about shows, hosting, and promoting your own card show. So this is something I thought about doing months ago, and then I thought I haven't done one myself. I don't know how well received it would be talking about something that I haven't done. Typically, I try not to really give too much advice if I haven't done it, lived it, experienced it. I think I probably had good advice or stuff, but I said, why don't I do one and then I can talk about it? And now that I have my first show under my belt, it was successful and we're already working on several other shows. Now I feel a little bit more comfortable actually giving advice and my opinions now going through it. So as I always try to do, this is my opinion. This is not the end-all, say-all. There are definitely tons of ways you can do things. These are my opinions only, so take that as it will. I try to mention that all the time when I talk about things. These are my notes, so I'm going to be reading off of. Also, this was asked from me a few times from a couple people that were interested in the show. I had a couple people ask me, hey, how do I start my own show? So if there's something that you want me to talk about, whether it be business or card show related, you can always leave a comment and you can always message me and say, hey, I want to hear you talk about this. A lot of the videos that I have done where I just kind of give my opinion and tell you my experiences have been from people that have asked or requested, say, hey, I want to know more about this. Can you do a video? I put out a video on my Facebook page. I don't think I put it on my YouTube page. I'm not sure. About setting or attending a show for the first time and tips and tricks that could help you navigate the show. And that was massively well received. But I don't think I actually put it on my YouTube page. But anyway, all that other good stuff. If you like the videos, like and subscribe. If you don't, that's cool too. I don't get paid by YouTube, so I don't really care too much. If I ever come to that, I might push that a little more. But let's get right into it. So you're thinking about doing your own show. The biggest thing you're going to want to do is location, and location branches out into several aspects. That includes like the venue. That includes if there's other shows or card shops in the area. So you pick a city or a town that you're interested in. The first thing you're going to want to do is check to see if there's card shops and active card shows in that area. This is the cop talking in me, but basically it's an unspoken rule, or I see it that way. Again, my opinion. If someone is already doing a card show in that area, you might not want to step on their toes. What I reference the cop in me is that just like drug dealers, if a drug dealer has a street corner or a block or a territory, another drug dealer isn't going to want to come in and step on their toes. It's going to start war, beef, drama. And believe you me, there is drama in the card show hobby. I do lots of shows, and there's people that talk about the promoters. I'm sure there's people that talk about me being a shop owner and now a card promoter, and that's fine. It comes with the territory. Hopefully the majority is good things said, but being that I hear it, there's a lot of shows that I set up at, and I don't hear very nice things about their and some of the promoters. So I'm sure, like I said, it's probably said about me too. That just comes with the territory. Some warranted, some not. But if there's a card show going on in that area or relatively close, try to stay away from that. Even if you think it's a sucky show, just wait until they give up or they're run out. If there's also a card shop in the area, determine how cool that card shop is. How much inventory do they have? Is it a big card shop? Is it very popular that a lot of people are going there? What are you going to bring to that card show that would make people still come to your card show with a sports card influence in that area? But overall, generally, if you want to be successful, find a place that is dying to have a card shop influence or a card show influence in the area that doesn't have any of those places. Hence why I picked Gettysburg. I had customers from Gettysburg coming to my shop. It's about a 35-minute drive. multiple of them said, hey, we don't have any type of card shop. We don't have a card show. I wish you would do something, or wish something was done. Hence, they call and I answer, baby. So that's why I chose Gettysburg. So pick a city or a town that really doesn't have any of that going on. That's going to be your best interest. Also try to gather if that town or that area is dying for sports cards. Speak to people, speak to, other people close to that town. Look at the, maybe put a post on Facebook and say, hey, I'm thinking about doing a card show in the area. Would people attend? Would you guys come to it? If you get a lot of good feedback, start looking on your actual location, your venue. Try to stay away. If you're going to do a card show and it's 10 minutes away from another card show that happens all the time, still bad business. Try to go somewhere where there's just not one being done and nothing really close by, half hour or more. That's good. There's a card show in Greencastle. Gettysburg from Greencastle is about 45 minutes, so I felt comfortable enough that I can attract people in the Gettysburg area and push out. Gettysburg is a tourist area, lots of routes, all that happy, good stuff. I had people ask for card show in Gettysburg, and that's why we did it. So next, the venue. Biggest thing about a venue is parking. Make sure that it has ample parking. If you can, stay away from having to charge for parking or trying to be near parking garages. It's going to vary from city. If you're in a big city, parking is going to be tough. Think about your vendors too. When they have to set up, if you have to have vendors walk with very expensive product or lots of product up and down streets and crossing corners, and if it's a bad area or a difficult commute, maybe the streets are bad, lots of lights. It depends on if it's populated heavy. You have to think about that for your vendors. A lot of people aren't going to want to have to really travel far to set up. So try to keep that in mind. Make sure parking is ample and that it's close by. And then if you're in a city type area, you may have to have people park at parking garages and all that, but just try to narrow it down where you're making it less work for your customers and vendors. If people have a difficult time going in there, it may deter them from coming back and saying, hey, that show wasn't that great. Plus, the parking is crazy and is busy and I have to pay for parking. I'm going to skip that show. Next is see if the place has Wi-Fi and cell service. When you go visit the location, if you don't have cell service and they don't offer Wi-Fi, it's not a good fit. Not only do people want to be on their cell phones just for the general shit that they look up and call and text, but a lot of people are doing transactions and looking up cards so they can lowball you on cards. They got to have service. I did a show where there was no cell service, no Wi-Fi, and the show only lasted, I think, 3 times. So it's kind of hard if you don't have cell service and Wi-Fi. So make sure that's definitely at least cell service is in the show. Wi-Fi is just an added feature. We talked about the territory. You could also try to partner up if there is a card show in that area and they're halfway decent and maybe you're first getting started out. Sometimes this is difficult. Working with someone is sometimes hard, even if you know them or a friend. You got to divvy up profits and all that. But at the same time, working by yourself is hard. I did all this by myself, and it's slightly stressful, but it's a good stressful. You want to make sure everybody's right. You're doing giveaways. You're running your own table possibly. You're making sure everybody got set up and finding the tables. It's a lot of work to run your table, run the show, and make sure everything else that you have going on is, setting it up, tearing it down. So doing a show by yourself is a lot of work. Doing it with someone is helpful, but then you got to work out, are they on the same page, or who's taking the money, how are you divvying up the profit, and that. So keep that in mind when trying to work with someone. One of the biggest things that I have a problem with promoters and card shows is advertisement and signs. The last few card shows that I've done over the years, and especially over the months, is not enough signs for your card show. This is a big topic, and this is why people talk about other promoters and card show dealers, that they don't have enough signage. Listen, and this is the truth. Hosting your own shows is very profitable. If you do it right, it's very profitable. It is. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. But you have to be willing to take some of that money. If you're one of those show promoters that take all the money from the show and you put it in your pocket and you don't put it back into the show, you're going to result in people talking about you, and your show's probably going to suffer. And some shows that I've been attending, you hear that rhetoric about someone that they don't promote enough or they don't do anything, and your show suffers. So take some of that profit that you're getting and put it back into the show, whether it be advertisement, giveaways, reaching different areas, signage. Signage is the biggest thing. There's a lot of shows that I do that you would never know that there's a card show there that day. Remember, just Facebook ads and word of mouth is not good enough. You need to attract the people that are driving past your show that day, never heard about it once, and they see a lot of people going into a building, but they have no idea what it is. If you had a sign outside of your show or several streets around the area that say, hey, card show on XYZ lane, or at this center, there's a card show going on today with the date and time, you'd have all the people that never heard about your card show or just happened to drive by in town that weekend, and they're like, oh shit, there's a card show there. Without those signs, you don't know. People don't know. People are stupid. So when they're driving down the street and they see the address, they may not know how to get in there. They may not know where exactly it was. They may get scared and anxiety that they couldn't find the place, so they left. Have signs. You should have signs 5 streets out or on the major roads that lead to where your event is. It's okay. Some of them I made myself. I went to the dollar store, I got some signs, and I put them up with an arrow, colorful, bright, just saying card show here. It takes $1. I've also had some signs made at Vistaprint. It wasn't too expensive. Get the sign, stick them out, put them on the main road. That is your job, to build a show. If you want your show to be shitty, I don't care how good your show is or how long it's been. If you're not continuously investing in the show, you're going to get that fatigue at some point where whatever you're doing is not enough. You got to continuously promote. Word of mouth and Facebook is not enough. Those are the 2 biggest, but you have to be willing to do more. Take some of that profit and invest in your show. The next thing is getting vendors to sign up. The vendors that you want to get, make sure that they're people that you have a variety of your show. So make sure you're including as much of everything as possible. When you get them to sign up, ask them what they're selling. Vintage, Pokemon, non-sports cards, sports cards, old, new, dollar boxes, high-end, low-end. Make sure that when someone comes to your show, you want something for everyone. When they walk in, they're like, I only buy vintage. Well, great. We have a couple vintage dealers. I only do Pokemon. There's Pokemon in the back. You got to service everyone, or attempt to. It'll make your show worthwhile, and you're going to get someone for everyone. Kids, females, males and girls, whatever they're calling themselves these days, have cards for them too. So make sure you have a variety. One thing I want to talk about is charging at your show. I am not a big believer in charging at card shows, especially smaller shows. This is, again, my opinion. Under 100 tables, your show should be free. Again, my opinion. Some dealers or hosts might not like that. You're probably making enough on the tables with your venue if you did things right. To charge another to come into a show. What happens is, if you have to pay $5 to enter a show, then you're going there to spend money for cards and you're spending money on food. It may deter your customers to be like, that show was shitty. It wasn't worth $5. I'm not going back. Your customers are already coming there to spend money. They have to spend another money to get in. Obviously, if the show is advertised as free, you're going to attract a lot more people. Especially if you have a shitty show or a show with 20 or 30 tables and you charge money, I think that's bad business. Again, my opinion. 100 tables or more, I think that's fair to charge something just because you're providing pretty much an all-day experience, and you're offering a lot more than your average card show. But then again, that is up to you and your person. I would say at all costs, under 100 tables, do not charge. Over 100, it's up to you. If you're making enough, try not to charge. When you're getting vendors, make sure that they pay up front. Do not hold tables for people. Again, my opinion. You get the guy that's like, hey, I'll pay you the day of, unless, they're just someone that you do trust or friends and family that you just do. In the end, this is a business, and I can do a whole nother video about business with friends and family. It is tough. If they screw you over, but you know them, are you going to let them in your next show? Or are you going to do business with them again because they're your buddy, but they screwed you and now you have an empty table? I don't do that for everyone. It is when you want a table, reserve. And with reservation comes payment. That's just a big practice. If you hold a table for someone and they end up not showing and they wanted 3 tables, now that day you have 3 empty tables. Make a payment and then make a reservation date that after a certain date, it's non-refundable. It protects you and the integrity of the show. I had one guy be a no-call, no-show, and he never contacted me before the date, so I kept his money. And now he's not allowed at any of my shows ever again. I made sure that that was known in my emails to my dealers. If you're a no-call, no-show, you never do business with me again. There's no excuse for that, because all it does is a text or an email, and that's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. It's free. It takes 2 seconds, and you're a piece of poo-poo if you don't do that, and I'm going to keep your money. So reserving tables, take payment. Let's see. I think that's a pretty good list. So overall, find a location that is untapped. That's your best possible option. Find somewhere that doesn't have a sports card shop, doesn't have sports cards. Then find the actual venue. If you're going to do a card show, I would say 40 tables minimum. If you're doing card shows, even if you're getting small, 20 or 30 tables, it's just not enough to grab that person and come by. If they see your advertisement and it says 20 tables, there's a chance there that 15 of the tables suck or they're overpriced and people aren't going to want to come. 40 to 50 tables gives a variety. You can take the chance that, hey, I'm going to find something at that show. That would be my recommendation. Don't do a show with anything less than 40 tables. Just a review here. The location again, make sure a good cell service, good pricing. As far as tables, that's something that I think I didn't mention. The tables, don't try to go crazy. 6 foot and 8 foot, they should have a different price. And that's another thing. My first show was 6 foot. That's all that they had. So I had to do it. Typically, try to do 8 foot tables. Try to be anywhere between $35 to $60 if you're providing a really good experience, and you have all the things that people would want. Then go ahead with the higher end, but try to find somewhere in the middle where people feel comfortable and they can make that in the first hour and then feel comfortable about your shows next time. I did 35 for 6 foot. Now I feel comfortable charging more because I'm providing something more. I'm providing a bigger table. I'm providing better space. I'm providing a different experience, a different area that's going to be bigger. I'm providing a show in Gettysburg that now is going to have other outlets there. So I feel comfortable charging a little bit more. And no one has complained about prices, and I sold a bunch already. So if you're going to charge more, you have to offer more, and then continue that trend as you do shows further out. Have vendors with variety. If you start seeing that you're getting vendors with only modern, reach out to vintage people. Also give discounts for multiple tables. If someone buys one, offer the second one for cheaper. You can do the third one for even cheaper, the fourth one cheaper, or you can just do additional. At the same time, you do have to monitor your charging, because you're in it for a price. You have to pay the venue price. And you're in it for a profit too. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong. I'm happy to make profit. I am not saying that I don't take any profit from that. I'm just saying that part of that profit you should invest into the show. Have dealers pay up front. Do not do holds, whether they're friends or family. It's just going to end up possibly screwing you. Try not to charge for your shows. If you do, make sure that you're providing something that is worth paying for. It will hurt you in the end. If you charge $5 a show, there's shows that I've been to where I've paid $3 or $5, and I'm like, I'm never going there again. That wasn't worth the drive or the payment. Sucks. So it could put a little damper in it. If you can offer food, try to offer something, that experience where everybody, when they come to your show, everything is there. You don't want them to leave, or they don't need to leave. If they're hungry, you get food here. If they want Pokemon, you get it here. Vintage, here. Even try to think of something for, if they come as a family, will the wife or the kids be bored? Although it snowed at my first show, there was playgrounds all around my first show, so that if it got bored, people would just go outside and play. Obviously, that was hampered by the snow, but there was that option and there was that thought put behind it. Whether you could have a coffee bar where the women or other people, even the men too, that they come there instead of just sitting there on their phone. They're like, hey, I can get a smoothie or a coffee. Do something that other card shows don't do. Do something where you can provide for someone that doesn't even want to be interested in card shows. Just try to think outside the box. So overall, I think I hit everything on my list of what you should be looking to do in a card show. This is all going to vary based on the atmosphere, the area that you're in, and what kind of competition you have near you. Remember, you're putting your name on that card show. The first time that you want to do a card show, you want to make it the best possible thing that you can do, so that when they see your name on the next flyer, they're like, hey, that card show was awesome and it's run by so-and-so. I want to go there. These all are, again, I can't say it enough, my opinion, Captain Romero's opinion only. Again, for those that are watching this video, much thanks to the people that supported the first show. The next two shows, March 23rd at the Frederick Scott Key Mall, up to 75 tables, all 8 foot. We have sold tables already. You can sign up. We're taking reservations now. Also, April 13th at the Gettysburg Eisenhower Complex. That's going to be a very big show. Up to 125 tables is what I can fill. A coin show and a Civil War show at the same complex. Thousands, and I did not misspeak, thousands of people will be attending that show. That's without us integrating ourselves in that mix. So it's going to be a very massive show. So we're excited. I'm going to include the flyers at the end. If you'd like to sign up, please sign up ASAP. I'm averaging about selling 2 tables a day. So that will sell out here hopefully soon. We appreciate all your support. If you want me to speak about anything specifically, please reach out, let me know, leave a comment, or DM us, and we can talk about anything that you want to, business or sports card related. We will speak to you soon.